First of all, I want to tell you this is not a Hesped. It's a Pshita, like a marshmallow. I'm not going to give a Hesped on Gozel at the door, that's from different generation, different. I once heard Shat. It says, "Vayovay Avram despite the sorrow of the Toisa." Avram came. What about Yitzchok? Why was it Yitzchok master his mother? Teretz is Yitzchok only knew her when she was 100 years old, 90 years old, 100 years old. He didn't know what she went through in the earlier generations, in the earlier years, when she was younger. All of a sudden you see a gadol, you think a gadol, wow, what? Obviously he's a gadol at that age. The question is, how did he come to that? A Hutner Zatzal, in the Ksovim of Hutner, he had a taina on the stories that they speak about Doilim. That it's all about the Doilim, that they go to this and go to that. People don't realize that until they became Doilim, they had to fight that Yetzirah just like us, and Gedolim are not born Gedolim. They had Yetzirahs, they had Nisyonis until they became Gedolim, and they have to know that the same thing said we say with that Yitzchak couldn't be master Sarah because he saw Sarah at an age when she already achieved her godless. We saw a man laid from far distance. We saw his godless. We don't know what he went through until he became a man laid. What I can speak is not Hesped, but Hefsid. What we lost, what we're missing, we're missing such a God we saw. I was Zeiche to go into Rebbein Lane. About a month ago, the night before he went to the hospital, and he was sick, and he wasn't well, and before I got into him, I was supposed to go into him, I was taking a blind person into him, and that's because of it's supposed to that blind person I got in, and before we went in, the doctor had to go in. The doctor had to check him whether he can be seen by people. And what was he doing? What was he doing? He was sitting and learning. Doctors coming to check him. Then he was just sitting there and learning. And we came in, and his grandson, told him a story about this young man who was commanded blind. And he was sitting and learning, and he looks up. And he couldn't talk, and he just said, "For shame." Couldn't hardly talk. He just tried to say, "For shame." Yeah, I'm sure he already learned this Gemara 1,000 times. And I'm sorry, I didn't look. I was such a shock. I didn't look what Gemara he was learning. And I'm sure he had seen this Gemara over 1,000 times, and he was just sitting learning. It was a Gemara. I don't know what Gemara was. I was stupid. I didn't look what Gemara just to get a glimpse what Gemara was. They were sitting learning Gemara at 103 years old. And what's he doing? He's sitting learning. That's it. This is what God was doing. We have to know. We have to see what we lost. I once heard from Moshe Shapiro, he said, that the Rav Shteinman said that in Volozhin, when Volozhin was closed down, the Rav Shteinman said when they closed down, the mosquitoes closed down Volozhin, the city closed down Volozhin because the mosquitoes were malshim, and they thought, oh, Baruch Hashem, they closed down Volozhin. And what happened because of that? Because of that, Yeshiva, the Bnei Yeshiva from Volozhin went around, they split up, and many yeshivas came out from it. Instead of it causing a Hesped to Klal Yisrael, it caused a Riba Yeshivas. Said Rabbi Shapiro in Achanami, it caused Riba Yeshivas. But it wasn't the same level. It wasn't Volozhin anymore. In Achanami, in Kamos, correct, there was many, many more yeshivas, but in Eichos of yeshivas Volozhin, they didn't exist anymore. And we have to know, when a God was nifter, we have to fill in that gap of his Torah, of his Yerushalayim, of his Midas. Those Midas, that Torah, that Chesoron that we're missing, it's incumbent on us, to fill that gap of his Torah, that he learned, his Asmoga, his Midas, his Yerushalayim. We have to fill that gap. We have to know, in Achanami, will not be the same. It's will be a different world. They said, when the Chazon Ish was nifter, the Gedolei Yisrael said that there's a world with the Chazon Ish, and now the world without the Chazon Ish. It's a different world. It's a world without the Chazon Ish. It's a whole different world. When Reb Yankiv Kamenetsky was nifter, so Rav Wolbe said a Hesped in Yeshiva in the East, and he said the minhag in yeshivas was when a God was nifter in the Hesped. We don't do this nowadays, but he did it, which was a nice 30 years ago. He said that the whole yeshiva sat down on the floor. And he said, if Yankiv Kamenetsky was nifter, the whole yeshiva has to sit down on the floor for 5 minutes. And the whole yeshiva went and sat down on the floor. And the same thing, a few weeks later, Rav Moshe Feinstein was nifter, and Rav Wolbe gave another Hesped, and he said, everybody has to sit down on the floor. And we all sat down on the floor for 5 minutes. And I was thinking, what was the shot? What was he doing? What was Rav Wolbe doing that we all sat down on the floor? What was the tachlis to sit down on the floor? And I thought that Rav Wolbe was telling us that whole Klal Yisrael lost out. Just like his children are aveilim, we're also aveilim. We lost out. We're missing that gadol. And I'll show you what it means. We're just right now after Chanukah. Right? After Chanukah. In the Al Anisim, we start off Al Anisim, B'mei Matisyo B'Yochanan Kohen Gadol. That's the way the Al Anisim of Chanukah starts. And the Al Anisim of Purim starts, B'mei Mordechai V'Esther. Why did it start that way? What's it telling you? History? Is it a history book? The day, what year? What month? What does it start? B'mei Matisyo B'Yochanan Kohen Gadol. What are we trying to emphasize? So the Gemara is in Megillah. The Gemara says like this. The Gemara in Yudam and Beis Megillah. Yudal and Megillah. It says the Gemara on the end of the Teichacha in Parashat B'chol Kaisai, the pasuk. It says the whole terrible thing of the Teichacha. The terrible things are going to happen to Klal Yisrael. And it ends with a pasuk. Va'av gam zois. Even though it's going to be with all these terrible decrees. B'yoysom be'eretz oiveyim. They're going to be in their enemies' land. Lo na'astim. I will not be disgusted with Klal Yisrael. V'lo ga'altim. And I won't, it's also lashon disgusting. L'chaloisam. I won't let them be destroyed. I won't let them be destroyed. It says, listen to this Gemara. It's going, Loi ma'astim b'mei yevonim. I want to discuss them with Klal Yisrael, even though they did Chatoim of the Yevonim. Lo ge'altem b'mei Nebuchadnezzar, lechaloison b'mei Haman, lehofer brisiton b'mei Parsian. So now this is Gemara. This is Gewaldige Gemara. Lo me'astim, listen to this Gemara. Lo me'astim b'mei Kazdim, shemaditi lohem Daniel, Hananya, Mishol, Azariah. Lo ge'altem b'mei Avanim, she'emaditi lehem Shimon HaTzadik, v'chashmoi uvono v'matisyo kohen gadol. Lechaloiso b'mei Haman, she'emaditi lehem Mordechai v'Esther. Lehofer brisiton b'mei Parsian, she'emaditi lehem Beis, Rebbe, v'chachmei Adoros. I wasn't discussing with them, so what did I do them? What did I give them? I gave them Gedolei Yisrael. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us Gedolei Yisrael. In the time of the Chashmonoim, He gave us Shimon HaTzadik and the Chashmonoim Matisyo Ubanov. In the time of Haman, He gave us Mordechai. In our generation, what did He give us? Beis, Rebbe, v'chachmei Adoros. What is it telling us? Listen to what it's telling us. She'emaditi lahem, all these people. What were these people? You know what these people did? These people were remeroimei the door. They elevated us. They picked us up. Their meisim had an influence on all of Klal Yisrael. Mordechai and Esther had an influence on all of Klal Yisrael. Matisyo Bonam were able to meroim in all of Klal Yisrael. And that's what Gedolim are able to do. Gedolim pick us up. And now we fell down. That's what the Bible was teaching us. We fell down. But after 5 minutes, we got up. To know we fell down, true, we lost the Gedolei Yisrael. But we got to get up. We have to pick ourselves up. We sat down on the floor and we picked ourselves up. And we have to know that we can. Chachmei Adoros is every generation. Every generation has their Chachmei Adoros. And even though we will not be on the same level as the Chachmei Adoros of the former generations, we have now Chachmei Adoros also. And you know what else? Each one of us can be the next future Chachmei Adoros. And that's what we have to know. It's incumbent on us to know. Who's going to be the next Chachmei Adoros? Who is going to be? Who is it going to be? Us. We're going to have to be the next Chachmei Adoros. That are going to have to remind the generation. There's going to be a generation in the future generations. Who was going to be this Chachmei Adoros? It's me, and there's going to be other generations, you guys. You guys are going to have to be the Chachmei Adoros that are going to have to remind the Klal Yisrael. Each one to his level. To meroim all of Klal Yisrael. You can have Ashpah on all of Klal Yisrael. I saw a gewaltige shtickle from Rabban Leib, Zecher Tzadik Kodesh Bracha, in the Sefer Yimalei Pi Tilo Secha. Here's the kasha. His kasha is a gewaltige kasha. There were many nisim in Klal Yisrael. For example, he says, in the Milchemes Yeshua ben Nun, when Klal Yisrael fought the Sheva Umas, it went 7 years war, and only, according to one Chazal, according to the Pasuk, 36 people, or only one person died. In all the armies, in all the Milchemes, one person died. And when one person died, they went and said, they had to do tshuva. What aveir did we do that a person died? Well, if you do the other, you say that 36 people died. One Milchemes died, somebody died, all of a sudden, terrible thing. Why? Never did a person die 7 years more. Nobody died except the Milchemes Ein. Nisim and Flois. How come there's no Chag for that? So what do you tell me? That there's a Nes of the Ner. The Nes of the Ner, he said that Dr. Baron Zechat Tzaddik B'Bracha. Nes of the Ner, you know what happened to Chanukah ben Doisa, his house? Now Chanukah ben Doisa's house, they didn't have oil. So what did they do? They had vinegar. And they lit vinegar. And they lit. And Chanukah ben Doisa said, Misha Omar, Shemen Jidlok, Yem Al-Chodesh Jidlok. That was a Nes happened. How come they didn't make a Chanukah with Rav Chanukah ben Doisa? Rav Chanukah ben Doisa's house also was a Nes. So why do we make a Nes of Chanukah? Says Rav Leib that you know what happened with Chanukah? The Nes of the Ner was just a revelation. What was Nes of the Ner? To teach us that there was an Nitzachon here. That there was an Nitzachon over Yevonim. That the Yevonim wanted to destroy the Menorah. They wanted to destroy the Menorah, as they state, that they wanted to destroy the Menorah. They knew mitzvah achas yesh b'Klal Yisrael, and that's why they were chavim to retaliate the Menorah. And Klal Yisrael had a nest with the Menorah. What was the nest of the Menorah? This is the nest of the Menorah. That a small bit of shemen lit for longer. What is that? It's rabim b'yad ma'atim. Ma'at min ha'or doich ha'harba min ha'choshech. Says the Baal Leib. Listen to this. Listen to what happened. There were 5 Yidden. Or 13 Yidden. Rashi says. 13 Yidden went to Milchama against the Yevonim. 13 Yidden went to Milchama against the Yevonim. And what happened? Those 13 Yidden caused such an effect on all of Klal Yisrael, that they were able to get out of the Chochmah Yevonis, to remove themselves from the Chet that caused the Shlita of Yevonim. 13 people were able to change the whole situation of all Klal Yisrael. Could you imagine that? 13 people had that koyach to change what was Gzeira on all Klal Yisrael. The Yevonim had Shlita over Klal Yisrael, and 13 people were able to do it. Rabim b'yad ma'atim. Says Rav Leib that how did they do it? They did it because it was L'shem Shemayim. It was Kuloi L'shem Shemayim. It was Shemen Zayis Zoch. These people were Shemen Zayis Zoch. If a person is Shemen Zayis Zoch, he can meroimim. He can elevate all of Klal Yisrael. He can have a hashpah on all of Klal Yisrael. Look at the Rav Leib. A small, frail person. A small, frail person who cannot eat. We can't have a musagim. He says he didn't remember when the last time he ate a piece of cake was. Maybe on Purim he ate a piece of cake. You can't imagine that. It's just like beyond our grasp. He can't remember when the last time, not because he was senile. He can't remember when the last time he ate a piece of cake. When his children put in, one of his children used to eat oatmeal. That was what it was oatmeal. One of his Glick put in honey in the oatmeal. And he tasted it. They said to him, "What are you doing to me? You're putting in honey into my oatmeal? You don't realize that every hana you have in this world causes chibud hakever? You don't care about me. You're giving me honey? You don't care about me? You're giving me honey?" That's what he was thinking. That I'm going to have a chibud hakever because I had some hana in this world. He had some hana in this world. You can't understand that. You can't understand that. That's what's bothering him. What's bothering him is chibud hakever because he's nanef in this world. This is, I was thinking like this. The whole world was nanef from him. Can you imagine? A frail 96-year-old man went traveling. He went to America. He went to Mexico. He went to France. He went to Odessa. He went to Berlin to give chizuk to different people in Klal Yisrael. He went 4 or 5 times to America. As an old man, to be Matzah Klal Yisrael. And he had a whole mindset. He went together with the Ger Rebbe to show that there's achdus between the Litvische and the Hasidische. And just blessed chasna he was at was who was the chasna was at? The Ger Rebbe's Enikel's chasna. To show that there's achdus between the Litvische and the Hasidish. And this is what he's doing, going around. You think he didn't have time to learn? You think he should have felt? I heard once a shmooze from him. He said a gewaltige shmooze. He said like this, listen to this shmooze. He said, steht in the Rosh, that mitzvahs ben adam l'chaveiroi are more chashuv than mitzvahs ben adam l'makom. Because mitzvahs ben adam l'chaveiroi are both ben adam l'chaveiroi and ben adam l'makom. Said Rabbi Leib, what could be the greatest mitzvah ben adam l'chaveiroi? What is the biggest mitzvah ben adam l'chaveiroi? Said Rabbi Leib, is saving a person. Saving a person's life. That's, a guy was dying and you saved his life. That's the biggest ben adam l'chaveiroi. What could be bigger than that? Saving 2 lives. 2 people. The burning house of one Islam. Someone runs in the burning house, saving 2 people. Wow, unbelievable. And let's say he saves 5 people. And let's say he saves the whole city. Wow, this guy did the biggest mitzvah. Saving 100 people. And let's say he saves 1,000 people. What would be the biggest? What would be the biggest possible? If he saves all Klal Yisrael. If somebody goes and saves all Klal Yisrael. That would be the biggest mitzvah possible. Because ben adam l'chaveiroi is bigger than ben adam l'makom. Said, so what could be bigger than that? Said Rabbi Leib, teaching Torah is bigger. Teaching Torah is bigger than saving the lives of all Klal Yisrael. What's the raya? It says that when Yaakov Avinu gave the bracha to Yosef's children, he put Ephraim before Menashe. Why is Ephraim before Menashe? Menashe, what is Menashe first? Gam hu yelom, gam hu yigdom. V'ulam ochi v'akoto yigdal mimenu. Who was going to come out from Menashe? Gideon. And Gideon is going to say, this Hesped that we lost, this teaching Torah, that Rabbi Leib, Zecher Tzadik Livrocha, was able to teach Torah. How many people, how many times I brought Bochum to Rabbi Leib, Zecher Tzadik Livrocha, and he went and gave him chizuk. Bochum who were down, and he gave them chizuk. He gave them chizuk to Shtayb. So many times I brought them to him. Different occasions, and brought Bochum to him, and he gave him eitzes, how to Shtayb. One time he gave eitzes, the person gave eitzes, one of his eitzes was, he said, you know the Ani Mamis Balpeh. Do you know the Ani Mamis Balpeh? The guy said, no. So he said, you know what I do? Every time I need chizik, I say all the Ani Mamis. I know all the Ani Mamis Balpeh. One time he said, how do you say Birkas HaTorah? Everybody else. He said, the Baruch claimed, he said, I don't have a Geshmak in learning. So he said, there's an Eitzah for that. What's the Eitzah? V'harevna. What's V'harevna? Make Torah sweet. Do you say V'harevna b'chavana? If you say V'harevna b'chavana, you'll have it sweet. That's what he said. Those small things. Plain as The flour. And before I came to this yeshiva Beis Yisrael, I went to the Baal Leib, and he told me to come here. He told me to come to the yeshiva here. He said the base has a name, the Bochum HaMakablim. That's good. And the Bochum HaMakablim, that's good. He said that's why I should come to this yeshiva. Baruch Hashem, it's still that way. Baruch Hashem, still Makablim. Hashem hasn't changed, even though I'm here. I haven't ruined the yeshiva. I want to go Viking. Chazal tell us, Harogil B'ner Havli Bonat Tamil Chacham. What's Harogil B'ner? How is a person Rogil B'ner? Now let's do another question. Do you know anybody who doesn't like Chanukah lift? Do you know any religious boys who don't religious Shem Shabbos, Modern Orthodox, half Orthodox, whatever, the ones who put menorah and tree? Do you know anybody who doesn't like menorah? Every Jew likes menorah. So how come we don't have so many Talmidei Chachamim? Say the person likes menorah as Talmidei Chachamim. And it says, Harogil B'ner. What's Harogil B'ner? How do you get Rogil? How do you get Rogil B'ner? Divided only 7 days, especially according to the Rambam's Girsa, Rogil B'ner Chanukah. That's how he said the Girsa in the Gemara, the Rogil B'ner Chanukah. I want to say Pshat. As a Rogil B'ner means you take the limudim of Ner Chanukah for the rest of the year. A Rogil B'ner means after Chanukah. Take the limudim of Ner Chanukah to after Chanukah. A Rogil B'ner means the whole year you're working with Ner Chanukah. You're thinking about Ner Chanukah. So I want to tell you another word I saw from the Baron Leib. The Baron Leib is the Kasha. And also Sefer Yemalei Pita L'Secha. Yes, the Kasha. Why do we call Chanukah Chanukah? Why do we call it Nes HaMenorah? Call it Nitzochan Al Yova. What did they do with Chanukah? So he said like this. People fall. People fall. Klal Yisrael fell. What happened? They picked themselves up. And they started fresh. And that's the limud we got to learn from Chanukah. That we can start fresh. We can start new. Klal Yisrael has that koyach. We know one of the things that the Yevonim made a decree. They made a decree against Rosh Chodesh. Shabbos, Milah, Rosh Chodesh. So Shabbos and Milah are Isis. What's Rosh Chodesh? What's special about Rosh Chodesh? We know the Goyim go by the solar year. The solar year is 365 days. They have months. Months is Miloshin moon. They stole something from us. There's no months in solar year. Months come from moon. The moon has a month. The month starts over noon. One Klal Yisrael goes by moon. And that's the Goyim can't stand it. Because Goyim can't handle that the Yidden have 9 lives. And have done 900 lives. Throughout the generations. Rabbi Yaakov Emmen said, if you want to come to Emunah, this is such a way to get to Emunah bigger than the Nes of Mitzrayim. What is that? The Nes of Klal Yisrael. Throughout the generations, the Spanish Inquisition, Hitler Yemach Shemoy, Chmielnicki, Nebuchadnezzar, Sancheriv, Haman, Herdus, killed out all the Talmidei Chachamim. Killed out every single Talmidei Chacham. He left one, Baba Ben Buta. One Talmidei Chacham. He killed out all Talmidei Chacham. One was left. One Talmidei Chacham was left. And look how the yeshivas, the Romans, through generations, the Asar Harugim Malchus, and where we were back. We have to know that Klal Yisrael has this koyach of Rosh Chodesh, that we can ischadish. And says Rabbi Leib that that's the limud from Chanukah. You can mechanech yourself, and that's what we have to know. It's coming after Chanukah. We must take the limudim of Chanukah and learn from Rabbi Leib. Rabbi Leib was nitzel from Milchama. He was one of these people that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was Hemidu. Hemidu, these people that were minded the generation. And we have to know, each one of us can be minded the next generation. We must learn from Rabbi Leib not to give up, not to be afraid. The Mesiras Nefesh, he went to Mesiras Nefesh to different places that he never saw, that he never heard of. He was Mesiras Nefesh for his Torah. Somebody told me a Maisa. Once upon a time, now, Rabbi Leib, at that time, there were other Gdolei Yisrael. There was a Shash and a Stipler, and he went into you see, he wanted to get a bracha. See, this is over 30 years ago. He went to a bracha, and they told him, Rabbi Leib learns till 1 o'clock in the morning. You can knock at his door at 1 o'clock in the morning. So this lady, she told me, they heard it from herself. She knocked at his door at 1:06 in the morning. And she told Rabbi Leib that she has an older daughter who needs a shidduch. Needs a shidduch. And she needs a shidduch, her older daughter. So Rabbi Leib said, I'm going to daven for her. I'm going to daven for her. And I'm going to daven for her until I hear that she found the shidduch. And 5 years later, she found the shidduch. And Rabbi Leib was still davening for this girl, but he doesn't know for Adam. He didn't know from Adam. Until 5 years later, the lady went back and said, I heard this from the lady herself. 5 years later, she went back to him, and Rabbi Leib was still davening. That's what, this is how big Yisrael turned out. They cared for people. They cared for the whole world. Except for one person. Themselves. They were selfless. They gave up their lives. We were by Rabbi Leib 2 years ago. A man of over 102 years old. 101, 102. And we were in his room. There were over 100 people in that dining room. We went in, there was a bris there. It was 2 years ago. 101-year-old, 101.5 years old person. His house was open to the public. For anybody can come in. This past year on Chol Hamoed, he let everybody come in. He was 103 years old. They come in, just say, they wish him a good Yom Tov. The whole place, there were lines outside the Chazanish, lines, the whole Bnei Brak went in. Yeah, that's what he had to do. He cared about Klal Yisrael. He cared. And he cared, you should know, I said he didn't care about himself. You know what? He did care about himself. He cared about his own ruchnius, not about his own passions. He cared about the whole world. Let's finish off with two last things. Rabbi Leib, he said, you want to do him a favor? You want to do him a favor? He said, learn one Mishnah a day. One Mishnah a day. Want to do me a favor? One Mishnah a day. You learn one Mishnah a day, he'll do him a favor. He did so much for us, we could do for him. What we could do, beside that one Mishnah a day, be mischazik. Try to go in his ways. Try to go in his ways and get on the chaveiroi. His place, his house was open to the public. At 1:06 in the morning, someone came to his house to wear the adam for him. His house was open to the public. He goes to mamash open to the public until a mice that someone beat him up. Somebody came into his house, right, and beat him up a few years ago. Till then, his mamash's house was hefker the gamri. After that, they became a little more careful with him. 101 years old person, that someone beats him up, is a little not safe. So they're a little more careful. But before that, his house was open to the public. Imagine a person gives up his life for Klal Yisrael. We can learn from him. If we can't be him, but a little from learning his think about other people, care about other people, learn Torah, Vasmoda, have enjoyed Torah, have Gishmak of Torah. And we just said, the side is, even if you fall, Rabbi Levi said, even if you fall, get back up. That's what Bola told us. In Achanami, we fell when the God was nifter, but we got back up. We should know, we should learn, and go from this drachim, and Be'ez Hashem, we should be the next Maimid, the door will come from this base medrash. From this base medrash, the next future, Gedolei Yisrael, Talmidei Chachamim, Yirei Shemayim, we Maimid the door until we'll come to the Zeicha, Tiki Ani Hashem Lekeiah, that the Beis Shalom will come, Mizgal himself, and Mashiach Tzidkenu and everything.
Amen.